Alright, so we're back and it's time to get creative again. So today, I've got my model Rachel, and what we're going to do is, Rachel's growing her hair. We want to create a shape. She had some extensions, so there's some breakage in there. So what we want to do is create a shape that Rachel can grow her hair out in an easy, cool looking way. So, a couple things that I know I want to do is we want to keep the length here in the front as long as possible. She's going to be growing this out. But I'm thinking where it's going to be nice to create a nice, good, solid shape is kind of where most of the breakage is back here due to the extensions. This is where we're going to kind of focus on. I want to create more of a fuller shape. Right now it's kind of layered and simply just due to the breakage it lays a little on the flatter side. So my goal is basically to create some graduation right here. We're going to leave the length up here at the top as the longest point. Then from there, we're going to kind of sit the hair in a little bit tighter back here so that it creates more fullness back here opposed to it being more flat. So we're going to graduate back here, keep this length as long as possible, keep the length here in the front as long as possible. We may trim a little bit here at the front, but right now, knowing that I want to keep the length back in the front, we're going to execute by starting in the back. This is where I know I want to develop the graduation to build up the fullness right here. So we're going to start here in the back and then from there work our way forward to the length. So as I look at the basic shape through the mirror, and kind of what I'm going to do is I'm going to take basically my hand and kind of create a shape. Kind of imagine, okay, if I took the bottom off to here and we built this graduation up through here, does it still look good with this length here? Okay, I think that's a good shape right there. That's a good length. Could we, do it even tighter, and would it look better? Would it look the same? Or if we did it a little bit longer, would it look better, would it look the same? So basically what you're going to want to do is kind of just use your hand and pretend that hair's gone and kind of get an idea of what the shape looks like before you actually execute the cut. And if you're satisfied with what you see before cutting, then usually that's a good sign to go ahead and do that shape. You don't want to cut it in first and then realize, I actually didn't like that, I should have left it longer. So kind of just play with it. So what we're going to do here is, I kind of like this shape right here. It still leaves the outline a little bit on the longer side. That outline looks really good with the length that we've got going here. It's not a really big transition from short to long. It actually blends and goes pretty fluidly. So we're going to start to graduate this bottom part. What I'm going to do first is actually cut an outline. So I'm going to cut this outline to about right here, and then from there establish the graduation. So now that I've kind of got an idea of where I like that specific length, we're going to go ahead and start sectioning it off to get that outline to that length. So So basically now I have to figure out how tight do I want to take this graduation. So what we've done so far is we've done the layers and we've done the outline. Now we're going to remove this weight right here so that it has a nice graduated shape, which again creates fullness up here at the top. So I'm going to play with it in little bit, kind of do it in phases. So I'm going to do a little graduation and then kind of take a peek at it and do a little bit more graduation if I feel I need to. So having never cut Rachel's hair before, I kind of want to do it in little phases to just get an idea of how it looks. And then what we'll do is we'll blow dry it, and I'll probably even graduate it even maybe a little more after it's dry. But once it's dry, hair reacts different from wet to dry. So a client always wears their hair dry opposed to wet, which is why it's very important to make sure the haircut looks good dry versus as well as looking good wet. A lot of people will cut the hair wet, blow dry it, and send their clients on their way, which is fine, but the problem is the hair is slightly changed in that process of blow drying. And the client most likely is going to go home and blow dry their hair as well, so you want to make sure it looks good after the blow dry in the state that they're most likely going to wear their haircut in. So I'm going to go through, graduate this bottom, and kind of play with it, and then we'll blow dry it, and then if I need to, I can always graduate a little bit more. Okay, so we are all done blow drying, and now what I want to do is kind of get an idea of this shape. So before, the shape was actually concave, as you can remember. Shorter here, longer here, and it created more of a flat, very flat shape in the back. But now we've actually done square layers through here, and then graduating through there. And so what I want to do is kind of start to play with a little bit more of this graduation. Kind of just looking at it through the mirror, we just blew dry the hair, and there's some natural volume going on, and I think it's a little bit more flattering if we just take that in a tiny bit more. Nothing crazy, but just take that graduation a little bit more so it's not so full, not so bubbly. We do want it full, but we want it full up here. right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut the fringe a little bit. Right now, if I comb it all straight forward, it's basically just kind of, there's actually two pieces. There's a level right there and a little bit of a longer level. I'm going to bring it up a little bit and do more of an asymmetric shape so that the hair kind of flows this way. Her part's on this side, and so I want to be able to make that hair kind of part that way a little bit easier. Okay, so basically, we are pretty much done with the cut. If you guys have any questions in regards to what I did, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more haircut videos and tutorial videos. As I cut more of these haircuts, you'll be able to be notified of them, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as well if you liked it, and I will see you guys on the next video.